Hi, I'm Mike Crescenzo. I'm the Director of Training for New York City Parks. Ever since the pandemic began and we experienced our first closures in March, park workers as essential workers have been required to continue serving the public in a manner that is essential to the survival of all New Yorkers. We've continued to clean our parks and maintain our parks in a way that allows people to utilize them to whatever ability they have. We've modified our operations to provide services such as food services to the public. And I want to take a moment to commend everybody who has continued throughout all of this stress to provide the services that are absolutely necessary for all New Yorkers. We are now entering a period that they're referring to as the second surge. And one of the things that we wanted to do was provide this video as a reminder and refresher so that people continue to maintain their safety while providing these essential services to the public. As a reminder, masks are required in all indoor common areas. Wearing masks at all times while indoors is strongly recommended. You have to maintain at least a 6-foot distance away from others, even when you're wearing a mask, to make sure that we have the maximum amount of safety for everyone. Masks are also required in exterior areas when maintaining a 6-foot distance from coworkers and the public is not possible.
Okay, so while choosing a mask, make sure you're wearing a mask that fits securely over your nose and mouth, helps protect you from from spreading COVID-19, and is required when you cannot socially distance. Maintain 6 feet of distance from others and in all indoor common areas.
Do I need to wear a mask if I'm more than 6 feet away from somebody?
Yes, you should be wearing a mask even if you are not able to be, if you are 6 feet away from somebody.
If my co-worker and I are both wearing masks, do we need to maintain a 6-foot distance still?
Yes, you should maintain a 6-foot distance. It still will help reduce the spread of COVID-19.
Carmen, I have a problem. Every time I wear a mask like you have in your hands, I always end up with gaps at the edges or on my face. How can I deal with that?
Okay, first of all, you take the mask, you fold it in half, you make the nice and tight on the edges, both sides. You flip it, make sure the crease are together. You put the mask on. You put the mask over, and you did not have a gap. Right? Make sure that you seal it. So we protect it.
There are several ways not to wear a mask, and we want to highlight these so that everybody understands that they are wrong or incorrect ways to wear a mask. First one is the chin diaper. This offers absolutely no protection to you nor anybody around you. Second one, I like to call the nose wiper. There it's positioned underneath the nose, and if a person sneezes or coughs, some material will come out of their nose and contaminate others around them. The third one I like to call the earring. This one offers absolutely no protection, and the person is trying to just say, I have my mask with me. And the worst of all, of course, is the wristwatch. This is where a person is saying, I have my mask, so I am in compliance with the regulations, but the reality is we aren't protecting ourselves nor other people when we wear them this way. Lou, what about gaiters? I see you have one around your neck. Is that appropriate to wear?
Gaiters are not appropriate for us to wear because the material is too thin and can allow for sneezes and coughs to pass through and cause contamination.
Go.
So gaiters are not okay to be worn unless they are double layered or folded over to make a double layer. So as you can see, the way I was just wearing this gaiter was incorrect because it was one layer. But we can fold it to create a second layer like this, and then put it on, and that second layer offers the protection that we desire.
People frequently ask me, what about while I'm riding in a vehicle? What should I do to keep myself safe? Masks are also required when inside a vehicle when you're not riding alone. Seating capacity in a vehicle should be maintained so that there's no more than one person per row in a vehicle. There are a few exceptions to that. If you're riding in a vehicle that only has one set of seats, then you can have a coworker sit next to you, for instance a packer where you need a coworker to help load the vehicle, but you have to make sure that everybody is wearing a mask at all times while they're in the vehicle. In order to also keep everybody safe, you have to keep the windows slightly open to increase fresh air circulation even in the winter, to make sure that we're getting enough fresh air to provide for everybody's safety. At the end of each day, all surfaces that may have been touched should be wiped down with a disinfectant in order to clean the vehicle and maintain it so that the next people that use the vehicle will be safe.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is teach you guys how to wash your hands. Now, before we wash our hands, what we want to show you is how many germs we just gathered. So, we're going to shut off the lights, and we're going to shine a black light on my hands to show you all of the different germs that just got picked up. Okay? All right. So now, what we're going to do, we're going to turn the lights on, and we're going to wash our hands. We're going to wash our hands the wrong way the first time to show you what most people do and what we shouldn't be doing. So here we go. A little bit of soap. Okay. Okay, dry them off just a little bit. Not too crazy. Okay, and let's now go ahead and shut that light off again. And we're going to shine the hands on the black light. And as you can see, there is still germs there because the hands were not washed the proper way. Okay, so let's turn the lights back on. Now we're going to make sure that we wash our hands the right way, and we're going to show you how to do that. So how we're going to do that is we want to make sure we're washing our hands for at least 20 seconds. So we're going to take soap and get a good lather. Okay? No, go stand over here. Okay? And when we're getting that good lather, we want to make sure that we're washing our hands, like I said, for at least 20 seconds. Okay? We're going to make sure we get in under our fingernails like you just saw, and in between our fingers as well. Okay? Getting that good lather and making sure that we're killing all those germs. Now you want to make sure for 20 seconds that you're singing the happy birthday song at least 2 times. Okay? Okay, and now we wash those hands off. And now you want to take paper towels before we shut the faucet off. You want to make sure that you use the paper towel that you're drying your hands with to shut that water off. There you go. And then you wash and dry those hands very thoroughly. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to shut off the light, and we're going to shine that black light to show how all of those germs have come off and our hands are now nice and clean and sanitized. Okay? And that is the proper way to wash our hands to make sure we prevent the spread of germs.
Another question we're frequently asked is, when must I stay home? Well, you must stay home when you feel sick. Also, if you've experienced any COVID symptoms within the past 10 days, and they include a fever of 100.4 degrees or higher, a new cough, a new loss of taste or smell, or shortness of breath. If you've had a fever in the past 24 hours, or tested positive for COVID within the past 10 days. You must also stay home if you've been in close contact with someone who is positive. Now, close contact is defined as being within 6 feet for a total of at least 10 minutes with somebody who is positive for COVID. You must also remain home if you return to New York from another non-contiguous state or international travel. You must follow the New York State quarantine and testing rules and not return until approved. If any of these cases apply to you, you must stay home and reach out to Labor Relations for further guidance on the COVID leave policy. You can find out more guidance by emailing labor.c19@parks.nyc.gov. Before we end, I'd like to share a few more pointers about staying safe. First of all, remember, we have to maintain social distancing. That includes things like not attending any parties in parks, don't have any luncheon parties or holiday parties or anything like that. We want to make sure that people maintain their social distancing. That includes in offices, in areas where locker rooms are. You might want to stagger entry and exits from the locker room to ensure that you're maintaining social distancing and being as safe as possible. Thank you for taking the time to review these safety protocols with me. If we all follow the rules, we'll get through this stressful time safely, and we'll all be better for it and be able to serve the public in the manner that we normally do. I'd like to say special thank you to my staff at Parks Academy who helped to make this video possible, especially Lou Delana, Carmen Ferrer, and Jerry Siegler. Thank you, and please stay safe.